Today on the channel, we're back at it with another round of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe cartoon collection from Mattel. And today, we got Invisible Skeletor, and we've got Buzz Off.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another He-Man and the Masters of the Universe cartoon collection unboxing and review. And today, we got the Evil Lord of Destruction, this time in translucent version, as well as a guy that's been buzzing around for a long time in Buzz Off. But for all your cartoon collection needs, make sure you're hitting up jaystoysandgames.com. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 15%. Gotta get a deal out there. And of course, going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. We're going to start with Buzz Off. We're going to go good guys before bad guys. We're also, Todd McFarlane, going in alphabetical order. Yes, we are alphabetical order here with Buzz Off, a favorite of mine since I was probably 3 years old, collecting the original Masters Universe line. Always enjoyed Buzz Off, and to me, Buzz Off was a bigger character in the universe than he actually was in the cartoons. And he wasn't in all the episodes, obviously. More of a minor background character. He had a couple of episodes that were pretty good, but for the most part, he wasn't in there like a Man-at-Arms or a Tila. But in my playing days, he was right up there, up front, right there, ready to go, ready to buzz on anybody at a moment's notice. A moment's notice, of course. And there's Buzz Off in the cartoon collection style packaging there. I guess we're rocking the 40th anniversary of She-Ra up there still as well on this one here. But Buzz Off, of course, a spy, a heroic spy in the sky, as we do know. And you got to watch out for those bees. My wife and I, we were driving. I don't know where we were going to. It doesn't really matter. But all of a sudden, we're driving in my Wrangler, you know, no top on my Wrangler. And a bee flew in and stung me as I'm driving down the road. I couldn't believe that. I got stung right on my arm. Luckily, I'm not allergic to bees or anything, but I was a little perturbed by this bee. I'm like, are you kidding me? He just creates suicide? Because he immediately stung me and then just dropped dead right in my lap and died. It was one of those wild things there. But I've been fighting all kinds of insects lately. Of course, spring has sprung in more ways than one. And I've been getting the yard ready, having to mow the yard a couple times a week. That's the way it goes this time of year. But I have a shed where I store a bunch of stuff. And the shed always has wasps. Wasps always want to build these nests. And I go out there every single day and I tear down 5 wasp nests, the same spot every single day. It's crazy how fast they build these things. I haven't checked today, but I'm hoping I can knock them down and then they'll just go somewhere else. But nobody wants all these wasps. But more insect talk with Kyle in my new channel called Insect Talking with Kyle Peterson. And it'll be Kyle Peterson 3.0 maybe. Who knows? But there's old Buzz Off. On the back, got that cross cell, of course. You got the glamour shots up top there, all kinds of stuff going on. Beautiful artwork, as we do know. What's it say about our friend Buzz Off here? As seen on Disappearing Dragons. Of course, our friend Mechanic in the background there. Includes Andronid Lance. Everybody loves a Lance, especially Lance Archer, is what I've been told. Twist into powerful battle positions. We know all about that, of course. But let's get old Buzz Off. Let's buzz around out of the package here. Got to be a little gentle down here at the bottom. Don't want to rip that comic book. We did that once upon a time, and I still got PTSD all these years later. We're going to get Buzz Off out of the package there. Looking pretty good. The Heroic Spy cartoon collection. See you later. Goodbye. We do get the instructions if you do need those. See you later. Spider-Man style. And then we do got Vengeance. Of course, Vengeance is mine right there, like a young Venom. Looking pretty good. You got Bo in here. Oh, we can't wait for that Bo. Get me that Bo figure. Everybody wants the Bo, of course. But a nice little comic book here. Skeletor, all the friends. All kinds of stuff going on. But of course, we've seen those comics before. We'll see them again, I am sure. But now we got old Buzz Off, and his lance fell right out of there. Almost reminds you of course, the knights on their horses. And they're going, you know, that whole thing. The old medieval times, if you will. All in kind of a copperish color here to match Buzz Off a little bit. Looking really good. Looking very Lance-like, I guess is what we'll say. But there it is. Buzz Off in the plastic prison. Let's get the scissors out here because you know a guy like this that buzzes around like he does, he's got to be locked up in some twist ties. And these twist ties might be too hard to get out. They're too tight. There's one. Maybe. Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna power through. I don't like to do it, but too tight. Too tight. There we go. Ugh, there we go. Making a mess. Get this off my table. What are we doing? See you later. Put a little spin on it. Goodbye. Let's dive into a buzz off. And the first thing I notice on this guy is some paint imperfections, unfortunately, on mine. As usual, your mileage may vary, but I got a weird dab of paint right there on the chest. So not Mattel's best work here. At first, I thought this guy was a huge Striper fan, but is he a real bee? Is he a real killer bee? Is he a real Striper fan? Because this is the brown and yellow attack, and we all know the bee attack is the black and yellow. That's what we like. But no Striper fan here, unfortunately, for a buzz off here. But paint imperfection, I also got a little paint imperfection on the abdomen. So, boy, your mileage may vary, but I got a rough go on the paint apps on this one, unfortunately for me. Looking at the head here, very cartoon buzz off, and he looks like he's just high as a kite. His eyes are barely open. They're basically closed. Got kind of that teal color there. He does got a nose and a mouth, no ears though, so he's not playing all those human hits. He does got his bevisor, I don't know what you call it, but it does come down if you want it to, or you can put it up, choose your own adventure. We'll just call it a yellow helmet over the top on this one there. Nice tan skin. He's ready for summer. He's been buzzing around. He's been flying too close to that sun. Hopefully he's got sunscreen on, but he's got a nice tan color. That reminds me of him back in the day, of course. Got those pinchers like a young clawful, of course, over here. Always like the pinchers on there, down to the 3 toes down there. Looking pretty good. Of course, got that yellow belt there, championship buzz-off belt, if I'm not mistaken. And then he's got the loincloth looking good there. The old furry loincloth, of course. Got the big old wings on the back. Of course, 2 wings on each side. They are articulated. You can move them around. Put him on a flight stand. He's flying over Eternia, or you can have him down on the ground. Choose your own adventure with old buzz off there. But these look good. Nice translucent wings. Like that they move out of the way or pull up there. Very, very nice on that point. Head back and forth, side to side, arms all the way around for us. Single jointed elbow, side to side, hands back and forth, side to side. Waist articulation, those big old buzz off splits if you need them. Legs do go up, single jointed knee, back and forth, boot cut, and then of course back and forth at the knee. Ankles up and down, back and forth as well. Old buzz off, ready to take flight in the cartoon collection. Not a bad figure, and as I said, one of my favorites, especially when I was a little kid. Good to have buzz off in this line, and of course fits on a Mattel ringside collectible stand for those keeping track at home. Is old buzz off, and I do got the buzz off from the Origins that we got, I don't know, a couple years ago at this point. Definitely a different looking character than what we got in the cartoon collection, that's for sure. But both of them good if you're a fan of buzz off, especially. You got to have both these in your collection. There's no doubt about it. But a guy you have to have in your collection, more than one in all honesty, is Skeletor, and we get a first time ever Skeletor with the invisible, translucent edition of Skeletor right here. He's trying to dress up as Orko and trick everybody. Well, it's not working. You're not fooling anybody with that smock over the top, but it is a cool first time in the line character version of Skeletor here. Looking pretty good. Uniform packaging design, as we do know. Skeletor, the evil Lord of Destruction on the front. On the back, we do get the cross sell once again. You do get some of those images, UPCs, jibber jabber, the artwork up top. As seen on Disappearing Act, modernizing and celebrating the original 80s Masters Universe animated series. But looking good. Nothing harder than fighting the Invisible Man, let me tell you. And that's what He-Man had to do. Includes invisibility helmet. It includes Orko's cloak. Of course, he's got the cloak. We're going to get it out of the package. We're going to see what's going on here. See what all that Skeletor fuss is about. See you later. Goodbye. Instructions. See you later. Spider-Man style. Exact same comic book here, so we've seen it before. We'll see it again. We know how that goes as well. Then we got the old plastic Skeletor prison right here. And can I get Skeletor out of the package? I hate powering through these things, of course. You guys know that. But sometimes these are so tight, especially on these Masters figures. They got them so tight, you can't even get them out with scissors. It's wild. This one seems to be a little bit easier to get out than Buzz Off was, that's for sure. And even the old Havoc staff locked down. And that one's the tightest one of the bunch, of course. Can I get in there? There we go. There we go. We're getting there, folks. Slowly but surely. And don't call me Shirley, as they say. Got that right there. We're ready to go. Bam! See you later. Goodbye. All right, Havoc staff, first thing out of the package. Let's do it. Havoc staff is here. We've seen it before, but this time translucent purple plastic here on the staff part. And then, of course, the big head up here. Nice translucent blue. Very evil, very satanic, very Lord of Destruction, Skeletor. We're here for that, of course. Now, we do get the invisibility helmet here. You pop this on Skeletor's head, I'm sure. Yeah, but it turns him invisible, of course. But a little bit hard to fit on the head there, I will say. It doesn't really stick very well. Might have to play with it. Might even have to heat it up to kind of mold it to the head because it just kind of rises out of there. Yeah, it does. But it is very, what's the word I'm looking for? Slimy plastic? Is it a slimy plastic? Kind of feels that way. But interesting for sure. Now we do get a different faceplate. So I guess we get 2 faceplates on this. I have to imagine this faceplate is removable here. Maybe I'm going to pop the head off and I'm going to see what all the fuss is about. Can I go in through the back door? Of course, just a backdoor man at the end of the day. Oh my gosh, it's in there tight, but yes, you can. So the faceplate does come off. And I believe we saw that in that Gary V Skeletor. Didn't we have extra faceplates with that one as well? So I'm sure we're using some pieces of that one right here. But we do get a more traditional Skeletor face on that one. Just kind of a middle of the road Skeletor, nice translucent yellow, and of course looks like a skull. The second one here reminds me of that Scream mask, kind of like where he's joking. Maybe it was in like Scary Movie 2 or something like that. I don't know, but 2 different looks for Skeletor here. I guess choose your own adventure. This one's a little bit more goofy, if you ask me, but definitely an interesting look for Skeletor. Of course, you know I'm a sucker for translucent and glow-in-the-dark plastic, so this is playing a lot of hits here for me. But Skeletor got the hood over the top, translucent as well. The cloak of Orko over the top as well. Orko just a little guy, so not fitting quite as tight as it did on Orko, of course. But it can be removed if you want just a full-on translucent Skeletor. Choose your own Skeletor adventure, of course. And then you get down to Skeletor. It's basically like any Skeletor figure we've had as far as the body goes. You get the origin-style articulation, same articulation we've got with Buzz-Off. And then you got a lot of the hallmarks of Skeletor over the years. We do get the boots on him here instead of the 3-pronged toes that we get sometime. We do get the hitchhiking hands over here as well, but then you get the vest over the top. You do get the loincloth. You get the black loincloth under there, and then translucent plastic, which, as I've said before, I am an absolute sucker for. So I do like this one. It does feel different, and I understand you have to have Skeletor and He-Man out there fairly consistently, but obviously I'd like to see some other cartoon collection people outside of them, but this is a pretty cool one that we have never received before in action figure form, so I am okay with it. I am okay. It'll get a pass, Todd McFarlane, to Mattel this time, of course. Now, he does fit on a Mattel ringside stand. Yes, he does. What do you know? Fitting on a stand right there. And we do got a Skeletor from the cartoon collection right here as well. So you can see those differences. Obviously, if you're only going to have one Skeletor in your collection, it's got to be this one. But this is a pretty cool deep cut, something for the cartoon collection. I am here for that. And I'm here for Buzz-Off as well. 2 fun figures. Love the cartoon collection. It is still a little bit strange to me in these 3 people waves. We're seeing that more and more from Mattel, the WWE Superstars as well. I kind of like the 4. I like the 2 and 2, but not in the cards for whatever reason anymore. So we got Buzz-Off. We got translucent Skeletor. What do you guys think, though? You picking up either of these 2 in your collection? Any thoughts on these? Who do you want to see next? Let me know in the comments down below. You made it this far, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the old notification bells. We got videos every single day, and then some. We got even more content for you, of course, over there on Patreon and YouTube channel memberships. If you want to support the channel, you want early access to the videos, you want tons of other stuff, check it out. Appreciate the support over there. SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and of course, TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com. My Tuesday podcast, wherever podcasts are found. Video cast always available on YouTube. And don't forget my book, The Complete Guide to the ECW Original San Francisco Toy Makers, available now. So for Buzz-Off, Skeletor, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?